What is up, guys? Welcome to another replay cast. The summer's over, it's time to get back to work, so quite a bit more YouTube content coming your way in the near future. Then again, it's not really hard to beat the previous month. This time we are playing the Leo 1 full tier 10 game on steps. The saving grace of this game is that there is no scumbag shitlords in their artilleries, which will probably make this game actually playable. We start off with taking this hill and pushing down these trees. I see a lot of people usually go here, but almost nobody ever pushes down the trees, which is very, very important to improve your camo and not get spotted after every shot, just like that time. So the Leo 1 is known to be one of the worst tier 10 mediums in the game, as the only strength of this tank is accuracy, and accuracy in World of Tanks is probably the most useless stat out there, as most of the time it's just random bullshit RNG that's gonna fuck you, and the rest of the Leopard is just a really, really shitty platform. If you fight shit like Object 140s and stuff like that you fight all the time, it's really hard to outplay them because they have to hit you anywhere, and you have to hit them really well with the gun that aims longer than they have to. So the Leopard generally pretty terrible, but if there's any map that can be good for this, this is definitely one of them. One of the probably 3 maps that can be pretty good for this thing. But so far so good. 2 shots, 2 hits, doing some blind shooting on where possibly the FV could be sitting. Obviously quite unlikely to do much there, and we already have quite a bit of trouble on this flank. We have a lot of tanks going to the 1-2 line. We have a couple of base camping Yak Panzers that is not that useful, and this flank is gonna get overrun. There's no real point for me to get stuck in there because this tank will implode immediately if I go in there and try to fight the amount of tanks that are playing there. But this Progetto is feeding me damage, so I will happily take it. Also, if you have a suggestion or request to see me go ham in any tank, leave a comment below, and I will try my best to go ham in a tank of your choice. The most upvoted comments are the most likely ones to get featured. Either way, keeping on peeking, the T100 feeds me, then we bounce a Badger somehow in a completely unangled upper plate. This FV is in a horrible position, so it dies very quickly, and I guess my luck ran out. We hit, what, 5 shots, and that's all the Leo could manage, as we cannot pen a side of a Progetto anymore. But the quite an inevitable has happened, and the 8-9 line has completely failed, and now I am in a bit of a pickle. I do manage to get away from that shot, but I should not be trying to crest this ridge here, and I almost pay for that with my dear hit points, but luckily I get away for free. And this position, while not as good as the one where the 430 is, but there's not really much point of me going where the 430 is because there's already a 430 there. So instead, I'm just gonna try to stay here, do some spotting, and try to stop them. This is a very good defensive position, just because we have those Yak Panzers to set up these crossfires. It's very hard for them to push me, and I'm also gonna try to punish them if they decide to push the Yak Panzer. Then again, one of them already is dead, and my luck on this Progetto continues. The important thing I need to do is try to keep them spotted, try to keep them on the edge, not let them drive huge amounts of ground without being shot by the 430 or me. So kind of have to peek constantly to see what the hell the enemy team is doing, but obviously I need to be careful because I'm in a Leopard, and they generally do not take enemy fire all that well. Also get that 314 roll. That definitely does not feel as good as it could, but overall we have rolled reasonably well. Now this Yak Panzer, we don't quite have a shot, and it's pretty silly to peek high up there to get him. Also, another thing to mention, after pushing those trees down early on, which was very useful for me and allowed me to still be almost on full health. Well, no, actually I am on full health. The trees can be used by the enemy team, and they probably will be at some point, and if you check the angle, they have pretty good shots on me, so I kind of have to keep that in mind, but there's nothing I can really do about it. I'll never outspot whoever is sitting there, so my best bet is just to, you know, live and see. If I get shot by something big, then I'll probably stop peeking that angle, but for now, nobody's shooting at me, so I can just chill here and have a good time shooting at these TDs in the middle. Before you ask or you probably already asked to yourself, why do I have 10 heat in this tank? Well, I was moronic enough to play the Leo 1 in ranked, which is not really a great idea, even if you do reasonable amount of damage. Gameplay like this, which is the only kind of gameplay the Leopard can really manage, will not really get you any XP, so it is not really all that useful for ranked. But we are getting pens on the Type 5 Scupola, and that is always nice until we don't. And that is not so nice. The type is going for me, but the thing about playing against types, we know he's probably derping, so the only thing I really need to make sure of is that I give him my side, or I don't give him my side, I give him my front, and then he's not really gonna have that much chance to pen me, but he still does 624. I guess it could be worse, but no, we're gonna kill him for that. That's obviously very important for me to do that, and the 2 shots should do it. He doesn't really have a way to get away. And now the T100 gets up there and gets a lucky shot in my back, which is quite unfortunate. I really could have used those hit points as the game will fold out. But we still have to deal with the 705A. And it looks like, by the looks of it, the other flank is doing a good job. And here we do a good old Russia bounce. So the T100 is pushing me, but luckily for me the 430 kills the 705, so I don't have to bother with that, and I can go for the T100 instead. A Leopard shooting on move. Somehow it still feels bizarre, even if it's only like 20 meters away. The 430 is now trying to deal with the light tank, and the light tank is trying to isolate the 430, and there's not really much I can do without overcommitting like a dummy. The 430 dies to the 140, but I managed to get rid of the T100 before anything bad happens to me, but I couldn't prevent this 140 from shooting me, so that's quite annoying. Now we're on one-shot hit points. Our 50B is pretty much AFK. We have 2 tier 10 TDs left and a mouse in the spawn. Don't really have very high hopes for any of these players, and hopefully I'm gonna be proven wrong and some of them have some brain capacity left, but realistically, if we play this like dumbasses, the 140 has a reasonably good chance to still win this game on his full hit points. Now we have to try to hunt down the enemy TDs and the 140 and the IS-7. They could be set up in annoying angles on top of the hill. I'm not sure how much the 155 would have spotted, and I don't know why the fuck did he run away. But either way, I'm gonna poke here, see what the hell is happening. Our T100 and the Jagdpanzer are playing like we already won this, and we clearly have not. This 140 is way too healthy to play like that. But we get the tracking shot. Kind of good to get rid of a repair kit if he has one. It looks like he doesn't. He kills our T100. I was doing some questionable plays, and now 1500 on the 140 can do a lot of things. We really need the 155 to get involved into the action. I'm still kind of curious on where that IS-7 has gone. The object and the Jagdpanzer both get spotted in unrelated angles to me, so I don't have to worry about that too much, but the 140 is still definitely a pain in the ass for me. But the 140 is kept busy by the Jagdpanzer feeding him all his hit points, so maybe we can get a shot in here. The problem with the 140 is that the snapshot ability of that tank is ridiculous, plus I need to get him in the hull. The turret will not do for me, so it is pretty nasty fight for me. I have to overpeak quite a lot in order to get my shots in, and now the 155 is coming in for an attack. And the 140 was kind of caught out of position, but he still wanted to go for me, weirdly enough, and not the 155. That was a pretty dodgy peek. I should have waited until the 155 makes his play, and then we, of course, bounce the object. Weird focus fire by the 155 as well. If the 140 was a bit smarter, he would have gone for the tracking on the 155, and he could have probably actually double tracked him by the time it took the 155 to get the kill on the 140. So bad focus fire on the with the 155, but it doesn't really matter in the end as the 140 falls. And now it's just this Jagdpanzer left. Pretty bad peek by me there. Almost got myself killed, and that would have been the only way we really lose this game. I should have played a bit more off the 155 and not so much try to be the hero. But now this game is over. We get a nice tracking, damaging shot from a rather bad angle, and we'll finish it off with the kill. Alright, so here's the end plate. Ace Tanker, 1853 experience, 18 bones, high caliber, 7064 damage done, picked up 4 kills and assisted for 214, which gave me the base XP of 1235. So pretty textbook game in the Leo, and actually for once it worked out reasonably well and we didn't miss every shot we fired, which is generally how the Leo works. And we were able to put the distance between myself and the enemies almost at all times, so pretty solid game for the Leopard. Glad to see it work out and play its role well, but there's maybe 1 or 2 maps, maybe 3 in the game where that can even be a possibility. On the rest of the maps you're just completely useless against all the meta Russian mediums and all the super heavies with the OP turrets, unless you spam full heat, but then why would you do it in the Leopard? Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast, and once again, if you want to see me review something or do a go ham video on something, leave a comment with a tank in the comment section, and I'll do my best to bring you whatever you guys want. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.